Hi, we're Owen and Lynn, and you're watching Travel and Fishing Adventures, and we're glad you're part of our community.
This past year has been a wonderful year for us, and as we look back, we'd like to share some of our fondest memories.
And we'll also tell you about a brand new midweek feature that we plan to start in January. But for now, let us show you some of the things that meant the most to Lynn and I in 2018. 2018 started out. Lynn and I were in sunny Florida. Maggie and I were out on the kayak and the paddleboard.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's my pup dog in the water already.
The highlight of the fishing for me in 2018 was this large redfish.
I picked up a huge redfish. Let's see what we got. Oh, baby! Oh, look at that.
We also enjoyed just taking our paddleboards out to places like Weeden Island, where we could paddle through the mangroves and get to see lots of wildlife. And in 2018, we actually took the ferry over to visit Egmont Key for the first time. Wow, I can't believe we haven't been here before. It was simply a paradise. Another one of the highlights of our trip to Florida was being able to fly my mom from her home to our little place in Florida and spend a week with just her. It was one of the most special times we've had with her that I can ever remember.
I don't want that. I don't want you to.
Oh. I can't tell you the number of times we've gone to Fort DeSoto, but I can tell you the number of times we've got to experience manatee this close. This is the only time, and it was just a great opportunity. So this baby swam away, but I swear she turned over just to say hello and dance for me. Look at this. Look at that. I can remember traveling out in a boat to try to find dolphin, but Lynn and I saw dolphins almost every time we went out in the bayou. But this day, where they were playing around us and with us, was one of the most special we've ever experienced. It's pretty awesome to have a dolphin waving at you. One of the big highlights of the year was June, when we purchased our Travado. We were officially hooked and officially going to travel around in a van now. We loved being so nimble. It was really cool that Lynn could drive this as well. Lynn and I joined Harvest Host this year. In this particular Harvest Host, we were able to wake up right beside of bison and experience being this close to these majestic, huge creatures. Maggie did not know what to think of the buffalo. Maybe she thought they were the biggest dogs she had ever seen, but it was precious. It was also pretty amazing to be able to wake up right beside of these really inquisitive little alpacas as we got to spend the night at an alpaca ranch. And while it is cool that you wake up beside a bison and alpaca, nothing beats driving down the road and looking out the window of your Travado and seeing a bull elk out in the middle of a river, just bugling for the rest of his herd. While we were in the Shenandoah National Park, we looked out the windshield of our Travado, and there was a mother black bear and a baby cub. We got to watch the cub climb up the tree and eat from the very top branches where the limbs and the leaves are the most tender. Every year, Lynn and I try to take a long trip during the summer. This year was no exception. We set our sights on Acadia National Park in Bar Harbor, Maine, and it was pretty cool to be one of the first people to see the sun rise on the East Coast from the top of Cadillac Mountain. And while 2018 became the year that we began to travel around this country, it also marked the end of my musical career as I performed for the very last time. There, that was it. That was the last show.
Ready to turn the page.
On October 20th, our oldest daughter, Gina, was married to Andy. It was just one of the many beautiful family events that happened this year.
This is really awesome. Gina's extremely happy. Gina, if you hear this later, I love you, and I'm very, very happy for you and Andy. There she is. Hey, sweet girl.
Hey, Dad.
I love you.
I love you too.
And nothing beats the birth of a grandchild. And in November, Lynn and I were so happy to be part of the birth of our grandson, Samuel.
It's snowing.
And 2018 became the year that Lynn and I got to see snow again.
Wow.
Well, 2018 was a busy year for us.
So, how do you think we're going to top it in 2019?
I don't know. Well, we're going to try. We've got 2 trips that we know we have planned right now, right?
That's right.
First one is in a few weeks.
Right. So we're starting to get ready for that.
We are. We have a lot to do actually to get ready for that, because we're going to try to do quite a bit of dry camping in and around most of Florida. Mm-hmm. We hope to make it all the way to Key West.
And then we're going to head out to Alaska. There's lots of planning ahead for that.
Yeah, we've actually started the planning for Alaska already. So in order to get a place to stay in the national parks, we have to kind of know when we're going to be arriving. So we're going to have to book those. And then we've got to kind of stretch a rubber band around that to make sure we arrive on the correct day. Peggy, you're messing up the video. There's a lot of stress that comes from having to plan your trip and know you want to stay somewhere for a few days, or then get there and say, wow, this is great, and you want to stay longer, but you also can get to a place and it not really be what you thought, and you're booked for 2 weeks, and you're going, what are we going to do for 2 weeks at this crazy place?
Right.
But then there's a lot of stress with leaving our house, knowing we're going to travel 15,000 miles and not have one single reservation.
That's right. So we're going to try that out in Florida a little bit. See how we like it.
Remember, we told you if you stuck around to the end, we would tell you about a midweek feature we're going to start. Starting in January, we're going to start releasing a video every Wednesday as well as every Sunday. The Sunday video will be more of a vlog that shows beautiful scenery and the things that we love about what we're doing. And the Wednesday video will be centered around how we're learning to love our Travato.
So a lot of it is, how do you live in a small space?
It is. How do you pack? You know, how do you
Take your toys with you.
Yeah, that's a big one for us.
That's a big one for us.
We're going to figure that out for Florida.
We are. So it should be interesting.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that people have asked us about the Travato, and we want to designate at least part of what we do to helping people understand how we are so happy and comfortable with our Travato. That way you'll know if it's something for you. It may not be for you or not, but those are the plans.
Right. Sounds like fun.
Sounds like
an adventure.
Sounds like a lot of work for me to put out 2 videos in a week instead of just one. But we're going to commit to doing that for a while, and we'll see if you guys really like that. Well, 2018 is in the rearview mirror of our Travato, and we can almost see 2019 through the windshield as we start to plan on heading to Florida in just a few weeks. Couldn't pick a better person to do it with.
Aww,
and we are so happy that you guys are doing it with us as well. We hope you follow along. If you haven't subscribed, take a second or two and click on the subscribe button. We hope we park beside of you and see you down the road.